In a land far, far away, in the mountains overlooking a small village, there's an ancient monastery. Inside the monastery lived a mystical Lama. This Lama possessed great healing powers that have been passed down many generations, and a wisdom only attainable by those who can read the past and predict the future. The people of the village trusted the Lama to keep them healthy, happy, and safe. My mission was to seek out this Lama. I would travel across the world to the Kingdom of Bhutan. From there, I would travel 2 days and nights to reach that small village. In addition to seeking the Lama's wisdom, I also hoped to obtain a sacred pot filled with blessed grains and ancient herbs. This pot, it was said, had the ability to solve all the problems of the one to whom it had been bestowed upon. If this is sounding like a fairy tale, that's also what it felt like. Bhutan might just be the closest thing you can get to a fairy tale land in the modern world. In many ways, this tiny kingdom, tucked in the Himalayan mountains, functions the same way it has since ancient times. A place where many people dress the way they always have. The buildings look the way they always have. And the people deeply love their king the way that they always have. But for as traditional as they might be, they're also known for being radically progressive, taking unique and sometimes unusual measures to make sure both their people and natural habitat are able to thrive and prosper. The end result is a high-functioning traditional society. For example, most countries measure their success with GDP, basically the value of all money and goods their economy produces. But Bhutan does it differently. Instead of gross domestic product, they look at gross national happiness, a system that measures things such as culture, environment, community, and well-being. It's not about how rich the country is. It's about how fulfilled the people are. Bhutan is also one of the only carbon-negative countries in the world. The people are not allowed to hike on their tallest peaks to preserve them, and there is no fishing, trapping, or hunting of any kind allowed in the entire country.
It's a good place to be a fish, dude.
Bhutan is just different. This is the only traffic light in the capital city, Thimphu. You'll notice it's not a light at all. It's just a guy waving. Traditional? Yes. Bizarre? Yes. High functioning? Appears to be. It can be really hard to compare it to other places. Just look at where it is in the world. It's surrounded by some of the most densely populated places on the planet. But not Bhutan. There's barely anybody there, with well less than 1 million people in the entire country. And although it is a small country, so you'd expect there to be fewer people, the population density, which measures the average amount of people per square kilometer, is far lower than that of its neighbors. We had a 2-day journey ahead of us to get to the monastery where the Lama lived, in Bumtang. We would have to drive east across the country to get there. Escorting us on our adventure would be guide Tandine and trusty driver Jigme. These two work together all the time and they have a hilarious rapport together. And the country is 98% mountains, so as you might imagine, there's a lot of winding roads, high passes. Sounds intimidating, right? But no, in classic Bhutan fashion, this was somehow going to be a comfortable journey.
Super orderly place. Like, the roads are perfectly maintained. I could have fallen asleep in the car easily, and I'm used to on these trips being bouncing around. Not here. Perfect roads. It felt like the car that we were in was an electric vehicle because of how smooth it was. Not to mention that along the roads, there's all these really nice signs. They're like, don't drive too fast. In a hurry, don't worry, something like that. Also, our driver drives slow. He uses both hands on the wheel and he drives really slow, and it's amazing. To all the drivers out there, drive slower, please. It's so much more pleasant. This is the only place I've ever been where there's just a cow in the middle of a perfectly paved road. I've never seen that. If a cow is just like walking around in the road, like a cow that is unsupervised, a cow that's just, he's managed to get into the road, in the middle of the road, perfectly paved road, cow, never seen that.
Between the incredible landscape and the beautiful Buddhist heritage scattered along the way, unsurprising since about 80% of the population are practicing Buddhists, there was never a dull moment in this drive across the country. My boy and I having the same haircut here. The western part of the country, where we were starting, is where most tourists tend to hang out. There's a lot of cool highlights, like this giant Buddha, and also, probably the most famous site in Bhutan is the Tiger's Nest Monastery, which is a Buddhist monastery that was built into the side of a cliff, standing at about 3,100 meters, which is over 10,000 feet. The hike to get to the top is pretty perilous, but this guy here, 90 years old, so if he can do it, I think you can probably do it too. It was also made a little bit easier by people randomly singing beautiful melodies along the way. It was very peaceful.
Shout out to Jigme, our boy.
Yeah.
He's down there just looking good, combing his hair.
They don't let you film or take pictures inside the monastery at all, which is the case in most monasteries in the country, to preserve and respect their sacred spaces and to protect them from thieves. They make you put all of your stuff in a locker before you go inside. I actually watched one of the security guards catch a woman trying to smuggle in her second phone. So it truly is a pure experience. The boys were worried that this long journey was going to be hard on us, but I don't think they realized how hard we were chilling.
They will kill me.
I think Jigme might be one of the most effortlessly hilarious people I've ever met.
Feeling good? Rich man?
Yeah, handsome boy. Medon di Cipewacin, Jonnala. Bye bye, darling.
I was starting to get antsy about meeting the Llama. Would he even be willing to bless me with one of his magical pots? What sort of crazy things was I about to learn about myself?
We are continuing our Buddhist journey. We're going to, again, remote monastery in the countryside. We're going to stay in a farmhouse. We've been told that we're the only people staying at the farmhouse. We'll see if that changes. Hopefully it doesn't, because we're sharing bathrooms and stuff. Looking forward to continuing my journey to enlightenment. You notice the way this hotel looks right behind me, and it doesn't just look like that because it's a hotel. There's a rule here where you are not allowed to depart from a certain architectural style. So if you build a new building or whatever, like it has to look basically the way that that looks in some capacity.
So this tree is called a Bodhi tree. So in India, 2,500 years ago, Buddha went under this tree for meditation and he got enlightenment. So one of the saplings from India is brought out here and they're planted out here in Bhutan.
I get it. I mean, I feel enlightened just looking at it. It's an amazing tree. Best guide in all of Bhutan. Right?
This is the Punakha Dzong, one of the biggest fortresses in Bhutan. There are a bunch of these around the country. This one in particular was built in the 17th century and is still very active today. They use it for both religious and government administrative purposes. It's just another example of Bhutan's commitment to doing things the old-fashioned way, as long as they can tolerate it or as long as it makes sense. There are so many charming examples of times where the Bhutanese were late to adapting contemporary technology. For example, in the 1940s, due to their isolation and lack of access to modern techniques of communication, most people in the country had no idea World War II was even happening. Meaning it started and ended while the entire Bhutanese population was blissfully unaware. They were the last country in the world to adopt TV and internet in 1999. Their first election happened in 2008, and most people didn't even understand why they couldn't just keep the king. It was famously basically like pulling teeth to even get people to vote, because most of them were just like, can't we just keep the king in power?
Does the king ever come here?
Yes, yes.
There's pictures of the king everywhere. He looks great in all of them, by the way. They have like a ton of good family photo shoots. He's flexing. Good-looking guy. The king sort of gracefully stepped down to modernize the country because that would be good for a country, which is a very enlightened king thing to do. You only get an enlightened king every once in a while, dude. But people absolutely love it. Like, it seems like if the king were like, all right, I'm gonna be king again, everybody would be completely fine with that. This is one of the stories that was told to me earlier today. Apparently during COVID, there's a bunch of stray dogs in Bhutan. And since everybody was forced to stay inside for a while, the king was worried about the stray dogs, so he sent the army out to feed the stray dogs. Have you heard of a cuter thing in your life? That's like the sweetest thing I've ever heard of. Plus this king, okay, he's a stud. There's photos of him all over the place. The guy looks great. He's the firstborn male, so he's the actual king. There's a bunch of guys in the family. They weren't like, all right, let's pick the guy who's the best looking and make him the king. Like, this guy just popped out the king. Occasionally, that happens. You get lucky and you get the guy who just looks like the guy. And this guy looks like the guy. He'd be an action star easily, easily. And I've just been enjoying seeing him all the time. You know, when you just see a dude and you're like, man, that's like a great dude right there. This is how I feel when I see this king. He's on the money. There's dozens of different family portraits and he just looks amazing, dude. This guy, the king rips. He is the man. I'd like to meet him someday. I would. I asked Tanda, where do you think he goes on vacation? He's like, he doesn't really go on vacation. He has like too much king stuff to do. He has to like go appear at things. He needs to go to funerals. I do think he went to Mongolia recently and it seemed like he had a nice time. So I want to get the king to the south of France, dude. We got to get the king on the yacht doing king stuff.
There's certainly no shortage of bizarre, quirky, and sometimes kind of funny traditions around Bhutan. As we made the journey across the country, I started noticing a very peculiar trend.
In Bhutan, on the walls of the Bhutanese building, we can see the penis paintings. That's to ward off the evil forces entering into the house or the home.
Oh, why the penis, though? I just don't. And this penis is like, it's erupting. There's, right?
Yeah.
So this just keeps the bad...
Evil forces or the evil eye.
Right.
Or the negative energies to ward off them. So people paint the penis on the wall.
But the penis specifically...
In the 15th century, there was a divine mad monk from Tibet. He came to Bhutan. He encountered with many harmful spirits. So there he used his penis as a weapon to subjugate them, to tame them.
Nice.
So later on, that culture came into our society.
I would have loved to be there for that guy's like crusade. They're like, is that guy using his penis to beat these? That guy's that guy's awesome. A legend.
During the next long leg of the drive, we would finally enter Bhutan, where we would eventually pay a visit to the Mystical Lama himself. I was definitely nervous. I kind of never wanted the drive to end. Maybe it's because this event that I had worked so hard to arrange was finally about to happen. I just really wanted it to go well. As we crept eastward, we saw fewer and fewer tourists, and local life appeared to become even more traditional. The Lama's village was like something out of a fairy tale. Lush, green, gorgeous scenery. It felt more magical than something that could have come from a movie. It was almost like a cartoon. Like this monastery watching over the town, protecting it from evil spirits. Adding to the allure, this monastery has no digital footprint whatsoever. It's not on Google Maps and doesn't come up on any search engine. And the idea that you had to travel to the top of the hill to reach the all-knowing, powerful force who could solve all of your problems. The Llama already had a healing session tonight, so mine would have to wait until tomorrow, but he invited us to watch him heal a sick villager.
How are you? How are you? Good morning.
The Llama had arrived.
How's it going? Where should we start?
He was going to treat a local lady who had not been feeling well. It was a very cool thing to witness. I had never seen someone be so excited to get water dumped on their head. This lady was so stoked about whatever just happened. You know, I'm used to conventional medicine, so theoretically, I've been trained to think that this kind of stuff doesn't really work, but this lady certainly thinks it did. And why not? I'm pretty open-minded. Let's not forget that the reason that I'm here to begin with is hoping that I can get my hands on one of these sacred relics. With the Lama's permission, of course. And I'm very hopeful that it will actually have a positive impact on my life, so not very long from now, I was hoping to be in a similar position to this lady. She seemed so sweet and so grateful, and looked like she was feeling much better. I mean, I didn't see her in the condition that she was in when they originally brought her up here, unconscious and not knowing where she was. But this is a cured lady. So let's see if we can cure me. The Lama's wife and his daughters were all at the house. They were so welcoming.
Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you.
Short bull.
Man, yeah. It's looking good. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
See ya. Bye-bye. See you soon.
The farmhouse we were staying at was down the hill in the village. Sanam, the caretaker, greeted us at the gate. She was wonderful. The light rain and foggy setting at night was such a cool way to arrive at the farmhouse, adding to the charm and allure that I already expected out of this tiny village in the countryside. I just couldn't wait to experience waking up out here.
Is it? Is us?
One here, one there.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. This is great. Beautiful. We are deep in the province of Bhutan. We're staying at a farmhouse, which, I'll be honest, I was anticipating. I don't want to say I was dreading, because that would not be very Buddhist of me in my current state. You know, all discomfort is temporary, so it's all good, right? But I was definitely anticipating it. To our pleasant surprise, it is a well-oiled machine, an intentional rustic experience. Now, there are still things about it that would potentially be obstacles for a typical Western traveler, like the shower is unconventional. It's also outside. The bathrooms are like outside, but not an outhouse. And they're nice bathrooms. They are catering to us in a way that would put most places to shame.
Can I offer you some black tea or hot water?
I would love black tea, yeah.
Thank you.
Like I was brought tea in bed today. When was the last time you got tea in bed? Unless it was from your wife or from your mom. Seriously. Also, I've been sleeping with a little hat on, dude. My head is very cold at night, and now I wear a little hat. Just like a cartoon character. I'm like a cartoon bear. Cartoon bears only wear pajamas. They wear clothes to bed, but not throughout the rest of the day in the story of the cartoon. I have a little hat and a candle.
And with that, we began our short journey up the hill to see the Llama. What an incredible treat to get to experience the beauty of this natural landscape. My entire day promised to mimic an olden time. This tiny village surrounded by unaltered nature, paired with the Llama's ancient techniques that had been passed down for centuries. If I was lucky, maybe get my hands on one of those sacred pots. It was finally time for my session with the Llama.
She said that the shadows of the king's house are them dinalo data, water dinalo data, what you choose out of the nana, what do we need? I need to be, I need to want something I need in the deep to the Anh đi chi xin nào thì chính trong phần xe tàu này cũng làm đó.
Right. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's a nice setup you got here. It's very nice. Yeah, solid. Very beautiful. It's amazing, honestly.
It's also so good.
What is that? Yeah. It's
Today weather also so good.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. Perfect.
Unique biết đến là sự bảo trợ và chế độ kia. Tương sinh chính cái sự lệ kinh giả로 đồng chân nó sẽ cụ thể phá bề. Cái đặc mê giang số và chế cái game chính cái sự kia. Ya ta lo atina tham cái mà đó mà.
It's like,
Yeah, it's
it keeps you awake, right?
Và chế độ anh mẹ chúng tôi làm tốt. Cái làm lúc nào sự
I brought for him
Yeah.
from the town.
Nice, nice.
Gift.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
Alas is man namin di crazy dito. Kim ko rin na ni bumbadi dari na basap no dum tang di na niya sang mat. Ngiya ni apati ki halam di pero apati ki apne flam dolo ki polo pukti ko ni chen de sui di da jo ma ke.
It was finally time for me to ask the Llama for some guidance.
Nagi kulu ani labja do chikachiji kadire kalop chikachinani yogasine ko.
He started by breaking the ice with a classic joke, guessing my age wrong on purpose.
You need to know your age.
Okay. Well, first of all, can you guess my age?
Late 40s, 49, something like that.
The actual guess was much closer.
1988,
1986.
1983.
Yeah.
Se kolgide senghado kita hagin di wudu kanje flexible pero gadin ji pa chabe beni ki sim di alibe pomduwa. Ele ne sim sim tensim dembajo kembi ki sim gadin ji pa ge di pero ya gadin ji kolgi amse ki fadule gadin ji kora ki pin bin ja fadule pa gadin ji lesim be di pero olok gadin gase ke me alinjira mido. Dati 저 거기 노들 숨be 조모도 로니 답담지 아서요. 개마디 거기 대리바에 같이 pero 발로 톡쇼도 근데 너희들 내가 매지 뻔다 있으면
Oh, wait, what about 2 years ago?
아니다 거기 라 띠를 돈에 pero 가dim띠 띠를 소 가dim띠 안에 소디더라 지나 다 된둥이 준도 좀 라바도 아니니까.
The guy made some pretty good calls about me, I gotta be honest. There were very specific things, like specific years. That was crazy. It's true. Like, I was doing very well. You think that I'm on the right path? Do you think I should focus more specifically on, one? I knew you're probably going to say one thing, but 1 or 2 things? What about 2? Could I focus on 2 things?
나 배우다루 나라 지나데 로기 안에 폴로 젠더 타미나 이제면 또 우스나스나 또 멤버 보라 나도기라 알루루 그리지도 보라로 그리기 그리모도 아니고 야 아니다다 대화디 마음을 씹었던 건디 마음을 끼우는 뭐지 아니.
Okay, well, is it wrong that I want to be more successful? Is that to go against Buddhist teachings?
야 아빠게 베리 무야 시오 말해서 아빠다 체니안니 랑가친 브라란다 팀비게 라비지 야이기 마데리 시멜로 punch멜로 니 부디와 유티지 나시오 이제 아 지금 염세가 마라데 팀베 데리 라야 야레바 능도 조돌로 마말레바 까나레 디 파테사돌로 다트라는 비티게 파 푸사돌로 세다 라기라 제와 레기 포노 니 세미 지시 니시 축기 온달로 야 아니 베다로 야 아니 데 제와 레기 포노 야 센비돌로 리기돌로 tetata beojem cheche beta wachinabi pamsang film oba tul bumbe elaga gende dissociate ani le joke beojem sim de wegi ngom sim de dara ludi dibi ani le tachi singoli ne.
By spending too much time trying to be ambitious and work, then
yes.
I'm leaving my family behind, basically.
ele de kongi ji palum no gadin ji be kongi wolo la be gadin ji leshum ha gadin ji leshum be de be disugi chesa Nisuki Polo Jongi Timmy no some mando. Hogi de Beta Pani, Labe Medilation Judge, Era Pento Judge, Simulation not the Bureau, Hogi Wolo Labe Medilation baby. Says it in the new, never Pohora Hill, similar to the Chagina. Tell me what best now.
This is good. This guy's good. You're good, dude. And what a character that guy is. My favorite thing is he would say some really profound thing, and then he would just go,
Ma, ele ani go me wa.
like amazing.
Generally, we look at Chechepon, Nini, Niti, Nilo, to Cheche.
Knew the times of the day that I was stressed out. He just knew a lot.
I mean, I did not. They look how about the Cheche and the excess.
Maybe some of the stuff he couldn't have gotten lucky. How does he know I have a neck injury?
You suffer from neck painting, something like that.
How does he know that? How do you know that?
Yeah, and said when now to Hawaii, Nana, Yanita, he did make sure to the Nana, he made sure to sit to look at Japanese, never do it to own it.
Great. He's like, you like drinking. I'm like, how do you know, dude?
Chang to me, Chang to the Nilo, Cadiving, to Yan, to Park, to what you mean, no to do. You think your direction of your bed also, but you can't sleep.
You're reading right in my soul. It's crazy, bro. You're right. I drink sometimes. I mean, look, I like it. You know, I mean, I like drinking. I'm like, can I drink a little? You know, just a couple drinks.
I'm good. Anh ấy về lừa anh ấy chung vào lừa cái gì nào phong đi phun mà xí watching cái lạp rồi à cháu
Totally.
thì cái phê tụi mình cháu phun xí nó mình phun mà xí đúng xí là thôi thế chỉ là nói cái này số này số tụi mình hồi đó lúc con đi tiêu đi chỉ đã mà chỉ ổn mà con đi tiêu lúc cả đêm chỉ cả đi về tiêu đi sẽ có lúc bảo lên bể gọi là
What do I do? How do I fix this? How do I, what are some simple ways? You're right. Like, there are nights where, you know, I go to bed, I'm a little sad, I'm stressed about work, which makes like every other problem worse, right? So is there something that you think I can do to just get on a positive path so then all of those bad things will go away?
Llama di te kogi te da kati pipane ani de mungi lenche yibi su kodo mungi lenche yibi mi di kachim rajin odi cheke ma di gelo di te uri gelo di te da kono tunju so ding dino gelo di geti te su ba wachi ge wachi ani geti te minna mindi gi be ke ko dare jawa lamdir be ro kashi be ya te leshim jodo su da banara ne topi ni chi ade wa mi gi lenche dum cha.
Got it. 36, 37-year-old me from 5 me's ago was apparently a dog, dude. Good for him. You know, somebody's got to do it. Maybe I was the monk who was out there using his penis as a sword, it sounds like. But also, it's like, are you serious? Past me, can you like get it together? Like, why am I now paying for that? You might also be wondering, how is it that the Lama has a wife? I guess there's like different schools of Buddhism, and like the old school form of Buddhism is like super laid back. That particular monastery is not government administered. So like he's practicing the same form of Buddhism that his father did and his father before that. It's true. In that particular case, I guess it goes by family lineage as opposed to in other scenarios, you know, it's believed that the Lama is reincarnated. Like the Dalai Lama is a reincarnation of the previous Dalai Lama. So, you know, there's slight variations just like with any religion, but this particular guy is holding it down for the fam. So I need to get rid of the negative energy in my life. But how do I do that? The old me was making mistakes, obviously, 36, 37, you know, robe came off and I started, you know, acting a fool. How do I prevent the old me from punishing the current me? Because I feel very close to living like the exact life I want to live.
Yani begitu digina mingi bete redo ba ani nga mingi lenje di pa jang chi tu lenje ton singa chira toba te ani le sha chang bo sha ya masa bo te di sin ma do te toba di ting ju om lui rip ji yani lenje tom di tang go chira gi jo lam de sun jo mi gi te le yan te ta ani cheang a ju yang gi bum ba ji Jadi dem dokter pania be me go di orang ye pachi nalu ya khadar chi di put na shame jam ji di pa
As long as I keep it in my house, all good. Do I believe that? 100%.
근데 그걸로 때 날래봐 겨와 남들 그 집에도 고 라하베데다 거기 봐 마티니 푸시 봐도 좀배 먹어봐 아찌찌 양케 개배 고비와 지났어 테리버리 날래봐 진행봐 아니 얘기니
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, great.
테리지 남소도 좀에 나바니마 베베 와진 대마체 그체다 쓰는 원들인데 대님샤도 fund데 아니데 나도 나면 님샤도 fund데 심적으로 스탠디 아니면 이거지
Thank you very much for having us. This is fun. This is crazy.
이니 카tilina
New York.
뉴욕
Yeah.
New York City.
New York City. Yes, sir.
Next time I come in your house.
Yeah. Hit me up. Yeah, please. We love to have you. Come over, man.
이 아나투르베 와진 베리다 진데스. 내가 라피. 지게서라 부신도 데리 텐디 레시미아스로 데리 테스토바 잠지 또 있으란다. 스포츠날 마치기 로컬.
We also then got hammered together. Boy,
Yeah,
he was going, ugh.
I am black, you is white.
Cheers again. My brother. Love it. He was like a cartoon character, man. That guy is the man.
아니 텐디 세고라 말하는데 텐디. 마친 람들이 나서는 저기 이거는 뭐가지 못한. 포틀나야 맨 차비 같이 땅을 빨랑나라 있어. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheers. Oh, sorry.
Then sun will shine. I am black also. In this, no chemical, the local Lara.
Good. Love it. Good. All natural, as he said. The good shit. He didn't say that. First time.
First time,
Yeah.
done.
I love it.
See ya again. Next time also you coming your family. You have one boy and one girl and your wife. Total 4 men coming.
I like it.
Done in Bhutan.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
I told my wife already. I was like, you're gonna love
Your
Bhutan.
wife is age?
Yeah, younger. Yeah. You been to America before? You gotta come to New York, bro.
Go.
Come stay with me.
Yeah.
Got an extra bedroom for you. Come over. Yeah. We'd love to have you.
I am come in New York, in your house.
Yep.
Again, cheers. Okay.
Dude, yep.
Yeah.
And he said when he comes to New York, I gotta get him some drinks. So I was like, bro, I got you. Don't worry. But he also said a couple drinks good. Too much? 2 drinks good. 3 drinks like truly unpredictable amount. 4 and above, forget about it. Life ruining for an extended period of time.
Very strong. 맨날 나라유 틱버 보고 나라유 버리 아니라 들면 좋지만
전지됐던 거야.
맨 나라유 now he's drunk.
2 hands on the wheel. I'm just
Old man drunk.
I was not expecting such a comprehensive explanation of my entire life. I have a disc injury in my neck. He doesn't even know that I was wearing the Buddhist clothes. He doesn't even know that. I was literally in the robe doing it. He doesn't know that. That's insane. So for him to know that I was doing that and just to be very confident, he'd say it and then he'd go, and he'd look out the window. Holy man behavior all the way. Very cool.
And live in here.
Yeah.
Farmhouse in here. Yeah. You see in New York, your job.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I making videos, first of all, but also I'm a performer. I do comedy, stand-up comedy.
바바 같은 나 뭐지 푸버틸레좀에 아니 망기 엔좀 팀 테스터로 게로 야 롱더 게로라미메 볼라 아시나 게임 세르다 푸버틸레좀벨라
아니 할레시디 메마라 호니.
야 코디 메멜라
코디 메메가 들어. 된 거기 파기 룩스를 겨줘 충분히 댄스라시.
Yeah. We'll show him. Yeah, I don't have service,
you are
but
stand-up comedy.
yeah. Send him my special. Yeah.
Not long.
Yeah, we'll send you show. No worry.
But that 거기 뭐마베라니 충분히 가슴 빌려가.
Oh, he wanted to
There's something a little different about the all, hey, you're a comedian, tell me a joke, when it's coming from a generational holy man.
I can, just for him. But like,
for him.
I don't even know which one should I hit him with, dude. Because I want him to like it. All right, well, tell him, all right, I'm trying to get in shape. All right, I'm trying to get in shape, but it's hard. You know, all this negative energy. But I said that now that I'm almost 40 years old, I no longer am trying to get in shape with my shirt off. I just want to look good with my shirt on. So that when I go to the party in the summer, I don't have to show up and be this guy. Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's going on? That's the joke. So I want to show up to that summer party wearing a thin t-shirt and not have to be this guy. Hey, what's going on? You like that? Because otherwise it gets stuck and you look bad. You got to keep it on. Well, tell him when people ask me that, usually I don't do it. But since, he's the holy man, I do it for him.
Otherwise, he will destroy you. So they are going to have a meeting out here, gathering out here.
The monks were about to have a meeting to discuss local affairs.
Me too. Looking good, boys. Yeah, baby.
I was thinking about popping some of that betel nut leaf, but Tandine explained to me, he's like, dude, you immediately get addicted to it and it's not that great. Plus, it messes up your teeth. It's not worth it. I was like, okay, noted.
He was testing me. He's like, you want more of the drink? I'm like, no, too much is too much, dude. I learned my lesson. Otherwise, I might have had more. These two are too funny too, dude. Once I get that pot of magic grain, it's gonna change my life, dude. I believe. They've been feeding us here a lot. Like the food is coming out, big family style situation and like big portions. Rice and pasta and a bunch of other stuff. So eating like kings. Speaking of the king, great pictures of him all over the farmhouse as expected. By the way, not a rule. People just love the guy, which I think is an important distinction. Because a lot of the time when you're in a place where the king is on every wall or the president's on every wall, you're like, what's going on here? Not the case here. Everybody's just like, this is like Michael Jordan for us or whatever. Like the guy is everywhere.
There he is. Okay, yes, it's start.
Looking good. Gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back, boys.
Dinner with the boys was hilarious every time.
And当我想这个也，OK，这还能当我，这样当我。
Je l'ai
Yeah, it's up to. I that on the lamb show soon.
And of course, more Ada.
Cheers.
No, it's less.
It's good. Yeah, it sounds
But
right.
other is strong. This is good.
Oh, wow, that's strong.
It's strong. I'm having no things. Okay.
We're not worried.
Evening, and it's not more.
The Llama doesn't want us to come too early because he's gonna have a big night drinking.
Yeah. Lama gets the door all the time.
Next morning, we headed back up the hill to finally get our hands on the holy vessel.
Bosnada Tarite, Nishuanim Jichu, dear, Electro Tumgiti, Ani Bisukera, Ani, Chubu Gujugi, Apaya Chup, Aluya Chup, Alumina Bujumi, Chubu Gujugi, Pizana, you did. Yeah, Ani Koragi, the Maba, the Kadaji, Kadaji, the Larapugi, the Kadaji, the Mapa, the Pebo Changani, Koragi Tambo, the Chibgistum, Kachibio, Pachinabio, the treasures of the Monte Corabani, the Shabio, the Deputy. Losum Bijablet, the Koragi, all lambed to town. The corrugated and at the Jarameta, but I had not been doing that. Nala did that and two good or two good rip, Ripodi, two jam men. The let the Cachillo, two good the young rip, the less and sing there, sing like the passing like a local Ampuda Chiva Tapja, last one. The Ania Candiano, half of there to 也是不一但是 MW 但是把这别人的平均消费的这些地方里面，这些都是两场的，这是做不，来考虑教啊，南边的地方，马祖的地方，干了，对吧？包括大家不听的，天天把这个都做了，是吧？
Now you are the next Bill Gates.
But unbeknownst to me, taking the sacred pot back to America might not be that straightforward.
Now, the big challenges in the world have been that you talking at a sala, kind of near and what you got the onion.
Potom na nera be masu ba mati lo katala wadi tina go mi ba delo.
아니 이제 바디도 뭐
Ne ani
有这个那个一直没叫整个的去这个
Tokyo o ne sa tu get tira ba ko na. Ime wa jan na ka tulong o ko lo.
그런 폭동
야 아니 여기 사기소 베네딕이 땡기 아트 인지네이션 다지 베네딕이 작전이니 아기 각당 막아서 자시 돈이 아니 이게 작전 야래도 꼭 봐도 최비지로 야 날에
The Llama wanted to make sure he showed me all the beautiful shrines on the property before we left.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
This is the oldest one from when the monastery was first established, which was like 300 years ago. So pretty cool. It's still here. His great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather or whatever. 6 generations.
These bags that they have in that Tibet.
Tibet over there. Pretty cool. You ever grow one? You gotta grow a view?
I have no.
No,
You
me,
have
just a little.
like this. Wow. This is fishing.
Nice. Mama, thank you.
This is the farmhouse.
Yeah.
저기 비교지. 내가 안에 막 장신나 때문에 같이 가야 맞아. 올라가야 되는 가서 나는 미좀 베라데 아스.
There really were ravens everywhere in this town. Fairytale bird fitting right in with this fairytale land.
Thank you. See you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, the beak wipe. Pretty sick. Physical therapy. We gotta Jig Man needs to get in on this. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Look out, Llama.
For him.
Oh, dude, too good. Boy's working out. Getting it in. Although his is like proper exercise, mine is just rehabilitative. Pensioner's no joke, dude. As Mama said. Yeah, I'll try to do this guy. It's gonna be too hard for me though, probably. So, yeah. Wow, this is actually perfect for this kind of shit. This is the farmhouse. It is glorious. It is really, really great. Bunch of good spots to hang. Coming into it, our like fixer, dispatcher person, she was like, look, like it's pretty rustic. Are you sure? This is significantly nicer than I expected based on what I was told. I feel like a king. I feel like a rural king. Similar to our boy up on the hill, the Llama, who I bet is deep in some Ada right now as well, to the Llama. Drinking Ada, getting ready for my hot stone bath that I'm about to take. We've been drinking a lot of this since we've been here, very popular. It's sort of like a rice wine situation. This one's pretty mild compared to what the Llama's drinking up there. guys drinking some serious stuff. This one's a little more approachable. That one is great too. I mean, I love a strong drink, but I like the nice pink, the rosé variation of the Ada. The lady who is taking care of us here keeps like apologizing, saying, oh, like I know this is like isn't it what you're used to. I just want to say we had the best stay And it was amazing. I'm concerned that you were worried that we didn't like it. We loved it.
Oh, okay.
This is the best stay we've ever had.
You know, like I'm just worried about the rooms and the food that I have served. You know.
It's perfect. It's literally perfect. But I understand. I'm sure it must be like stressful. But yeah, we loved it.
It's really nice.
Everything's really rustic, but like really clean. Really makes sense. It's so pure, and I've never actually seen the two worlds married so well. And now I'm about to rip a hot stone bath where they figured everything out. In fact, they put the hot stones in from the back so that I can maintain my privacy. How nice is that? I can't think of a better way to celebrate a successful mission than a little relaxation. We did technically still need the letter from the llama to bring the pot back to America, but I wasn't going to get stressed about that right now. It is hot in here. There's a hot stone bath. They literally heated these stones up for 4 hours and then bring them to the back, and then it heats up the water. There's a bunch of sticks and bark and herbs. According to this thing here, it's a very, very solid healing properties. We love to say it. Love an ancient cleansing ritual, especially when it's relaxing. You know, so glad we got the PET in before, just in case we pushed it a little too far. It's being rehabilitating. Oh my God. It's like you get adjusted to the heat and then you move back 1 second, you enter this new area of heat, and it's like, it's crazy. The people who work here are some of the nicest people I've ever encountered. If they see us idle, they're worried. Like we were sitting out just enjoying the view. They're like, "Are you bored?" I'm like, "No, like not at all. Like I'm so sorry that you were worried about that. I'm actually having the best time I've ever had. I'm just staring off into the distance, not thinking, yeah, the Buddhist way. Shout out to the Llama." How'd you sleep? You sleep good?
What?
You sleep good?
Yeah. How about you?
Oh yeah, like a rock. It was great. The bath put me out, dude. God, dude. Fucking llama. I'm going. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. For our last stop in Bhutan, we were heading to the school in the village to watch the Llama conduct an annual ceremony. He gave us a quick call to assure us that he would provide the necessary documentation to bring the sacred pot back to America.
Good morning.
Sorry, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Sorry.
Oh, we just had breakfast. Thank you so much.
So you can just taste.
Okay, I'll taste it, I'll taste it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Thanks.
Where are you from, sir?
From New York.
New York?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Him too, yeah, yeah. Nice to be here. Thanks, yeah. So we're doing some kind of ritual thing this morning that our boy, the Llama, is administering. He's also got to come give us a letter so we can bring back his magical pot to America without them thinking it's some kind of contraband. But this is pretty cool. Cool way to end the stay in Bhutan in the area. It's been a big success, really special. There he is.
Good morning.
How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you. The final documentation had been secured. Hopefully we wouldn't have any problems. After hanging so casually with the Llama for so many days, it was interesting to see him in his element as an important religious figure. Also, I would argue that the Llama has a pretty good Llama voice, even without a microphone. But when you add the microphone to the mix, the
Took it to the next level. Ceremonies like this aren't part of everyday school life. The event is attended throughout the day by the students and the people of the village as well. The Lama conducts these rituals periodically to mark the start of a new term, an auspicious date, or simply to renew good energy within the community. In Bhutanese life, it's understood that even good spaces can become heavy over time, with stress, conflict, or just the weight of daily living. The puja, as it's called, helps to clear that, to refresh the atmosphere, and remind everyone of their shared intentions. It's not just about faith, it's about balance. And for me, I was happy to reap the benefits of this renewal too, because I think the Lama was right. Maybe the weight of some of my surroundings had been bogging me down. I wanted to simplify things. As a baseline, have enough respect for myself to do the things that I need to do, even when it's really hard. I couldn't simply bank on the pot to do all the work. At the same time, it's so easy to dwell on your shortcomings and all the things that aren't going right in your life. And I really wanted to take a second to be grateful for this adventure and for the amazing adventures that I've been on all over the world. And to the people of this village and the people of Bhutan for the wisdom and hospitality, but also for reminding me that it's okay to be different. And furthermore, that it's okay to be stubborn. Sometimes you just gotta let her rip. And with that, we bid the Lama farewell. Hopefully we'll see him again sometime.
Every great religious leader has to have like a special voice. I don't know if you just heard the Lama in action there. His sort of like rasp was like 3x with the microphone, because even in his place, he's like, "Urgh." Now listen to this. This was an amazing experience. I mean, it was not super straightforward to arrange the hang with the Lama and to get to pick his brain, and it was quite a journey. Kind of think about some of the Buddhist principles that I've learned, and then ultimately at the end, just getting a cop-out. He's like, well, instead of improving yourself, you can also just get this wonderful magic pot, which I look forward to displaying in my apartment. I'm like, great. Doesn't mean I won't keep trying, but nice to have a little accompaniment as well. Not to mention, if you are looking for a great place to visit that is super authentic and preserved, but also extremely easy for a traveler, this is the place for you. The accommodations are all great. They know how to take care of visitors. We've made some great friends. We've had a great time hanging out with all of them. Jigme and Tandine. Oh my God. Great duo, those two. And so now I'm at the farmhouse. That was so special. I mean, we got treated like kings. It was so amazing. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And just seeing all the incredible things that Bhutan has to offer. Shout out to the Lama, Lama King, legend. If you're looking for a good next trip, Bhutan could be it.
Now that our hero had retrieved the ancient relic, the most sacred of all pots, filled with the grains and herbs of long ago, how would he put it to use?